This is the visionary Vaughn Vertigo, and you're listening to Count It Out with Mike and Tyler.
What's up? This is El Diablo Gabriel Fuerza, and you're watching Count It Out with Mike and Tyler.
Well, we are live, pals, and welcome to another edition of the Bill Apter Seal of Approve Count It Out with Mike and Tyler. The show's gotten better, but the Wi-Fi still sucks. My name is Tyler, and I am joined by my Cincinnati Bengals loving friend, the one and only Mojito Mike. But Mike, we are not alone this week. Please tell the people who we have joining us.
Man, this is fantastic because we could be talking about a lot of stuff this week. We usually kind of fill in the pre-area stuff before the list with a lot of news and bullshit. Really, we could be talking about Vince McMahon going back to WWE. We could be talking about Impact's fantastic pay-per-view. But fuck all that. We're gonna talk some Destiny Wrestling this week, baby. We've got the one and only owner of Destiny Wrestling. I don't know what you'd like to be called, Emilio, but we'll go with owner. We've got Emilio Albi. Emilio, how you doing, brother?
Good, man. How you doing?
We're excited to have you. Bills fan or not, we're going to bring you on the show just for our love for number 3. We'll bring you on the show. No, that does not extend an invitation for you, Clay Wilson. You're still banned from the show until further notice. I'm looking forward to today, though.
Thanks for coming on, man.
I'm looking forward to today. Later in the week, we're going to be having Steve Macklin on the show, talking some Impact Wrestling. But at the end of the month, not only we got some Impact Wrestling, Steve Macklin's going to be hanging out with us at Destiny. Let's talk about that, man. 2 shows in a row, you got Steve Macklin coming to Destiny. I guess he liked what he saw at Homecoming, eh, Emilio?
Yeah, listen, Steve's a great guy. He's been around. He's been through the Fed. He's currently an Impact on a huge role right now. And he's doing his thing. He's great to watch. He's great in the ring. And he's building himself up quite a win streak. He's been doing it on Impact. He won his first match in a Destiny ring. So we decided to bring him back again. The fans loved him. And yeah, you can't go wrong with having someone who's on TV weekly showing up at Destiny.
I don't get nervous for Aiden Prince a lot, man. The guy's one of the most talented guys on the Ontario indie scene today. But you put him in a ring with Destiny, with Steve Macklin, especially for that title. If I'm Aiden Prince, I'm shaking a little bit going into this match.
Well, if you followed a little bit of Twitter this week, Aiden, retweeted the match and said, "If I show up," with a few hashtags I won't use on the show because I don't know what age you guys go after on here. But Steve Macklin responded, and he responded with how fitting your nickname is Death Wish. So Steve Macklin's coming. He's coming for a fight on January 29th.
Now, Taylor, you had as much fun as I did at Destiny the last time we were around. How are we going to do this one, man? What are you looking forward to? We had a lot of fun at Homecoming. What's the thing you're looking for? We'll go through the card in a minute, but what are you looking forward to the most at New Beginnings?
I've got 2 things that really jump out right off the get-go. I want to talk about the Motor City Machine Guns against Destroy, against Fuerza and Vaughn Vertigo. This has already got potential to be match of the year, not just on the Ontario indie scene, but I'll put this match up against any professional wrestling company has to offer. This is 4 of the best talents going. I can't wait to see that. I would see Destroy, Vertigo and Fuerza tag team live about 4 or 5 times, and every time it's about to happen for me, something happens. I don't see it. I think it was just meant to be this way, because what a way for me to see them as a tag team for the first time at Destiny on the 29th year. But the other thing I'm really excited about is to catch up with Alicia Atout again. I love the fact that you have her on as a host. She does a fantastic job. She's a great human being. Amelia, what kind of energy does Alicia bring for those shows? How important is she for the shows to you?
Well, I think she's very important. You know, Alicia, she was with Destiny before. She appeared on a few shows. She has a huge following on all socials. Her flyer, us announcing that we're her only Canadian promotion that she's working for, it drew more than any other flyer, our post that we've put on Instagram in the past 4 years. So just the sheer I guess you could say that on just the amount of people she reaches on her socials and her impact in the industry is just phenomenal. She's been around for a while. She's known as the interview queen, and she's been at some pretty big promotions throughout North America. And when I had the opportunity to pick her up and add her to the team, it was just a no-brainer. It was, you know, a quick conversation. We agreed to terms, and now we're her Canadian indie promotion.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see her out there again. But let's talk about the big one. Let's talk about the Motor City Machine Guns. They're the current Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions, current New Japan Strong Tag Team Champions, looking to add some Destiny gold around their waist too. How pumped up were you when you were able to get a hold of Machine Guns and lock this date in, Emilio?
Well, I was excited for a couple things. One, I was excited for the sheer excitement of having this match between one of the very best independent tag teams, not just in Toronto, Ontario, but in Canada, in Fight or Flight, Gabriel Fuerza and Von Vertigo, and then able to put them in the ring with the caliber of tag team of the Motor City Machine Guns, who top 5 tag team in the world right now. You know, like you said, they hold the titles for New Japan Strong. They hold the Impact titles, another successful title defense this past weekend. So the caliber of match and just being able to get a tag team of that nature into Destiny was very, very exciting for me. And the second part of that is I needed to bring a tag team in that could teach these kids a lesson. They've been running rampant through Destiny over the last 6 months, from destroying things to ripping up the canvas, to cutting the skirts. There's just been so much going on with these guys that I finally had to say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to bring in a team here that will help me gain some control back of Destiny, with these guys running rampant all over backstage and what they're doing in the ring.
100%. And if you're looking to bring, you're already going to bring in the fans that Destiny had with the Motor City Machine Guns. Now, they're going to bring fans that maybe they haven't checked out a Destiny show yet because they know the Motor City Machine Guns. So this is a great time to be around Destiny right now. Tyler and I have been talking about going to Destiny for 3 years now. It just never happened. And I feel like we jumped on the boat right at the right time. And I want to step away from the current card. We'll go back to it, but we like to kind of flip-flop on the show. And I want to go to you for a minute, Emilio, because you've been around. Like people know you on the indies. That you've been around Destiny a long time. But this is only your second show as owner. What clicked in you and said, you know what, I can do this. I can run Destiny Wrestling. And what was it that made you say, yeah, I'm doing this, and come homecoming, you showed that you can? What clicked in you? What made you do that?
Well, see, this is a funny story because I didn't think I could do this. I got involved with Destiny about almost a year now. Right towards the end, the tail end of the pandemic, Iceman and I, we got together and we had a discussion. Now, Iceman, a lot of people know he's down south in Florida, living the good life in the warm weather, while we're up here freezing. It was hard because he was trying to run Destiny from afar. He was trying to run his baby, something that he's very passionate about, from afar, and it was really, really hard for him. Now, he's going to make some announcements coming up soon. what he's doing with his career. It just came to the point where he had to focus on elevating himself to the next level. And obviously the next level is, catching on to one of the top 3 promotions. And, he's pretty much there right now. So he knew that a lot of his time would have to be dedicated to this new, opportunity he had. So he didn't know what to do with Destiny. Does he shut it down, something his blood, sweat, and tears he's put in for the last 8 years? Or does he find someone that he trusts that will, not only, keep Destiny going, but elevate it? So him and I had a conversation. We agreed to some numbers. I would like to say we shook hands, but we did it through a Zoom similar to this. And we came across with the deal that worked for both of us. And yeah, once when it was done, I literally just sat there and said, what did I just do? And what do I do now? I've been a fan of, I'm an 80s wrestling kid. I love the big superstar, the larger than life athlete, all through the era with DX, The Rock, they called it the Attitude Era. I call it the most interesting era of television. And so I've been a huge fan. And with Destiny, I followed Destiny for 6 years because Iceman and we had previous business dealings. Yeah, so it just everything happened. It just clicked. It made sense. We did the deal. I hope I can do right by, Iceman with what we're doing. Now with change, new ownership, myself, a lot of things change. Some of the behind the scenes people change. Some of the talent's going to change. But what I know I plan on doing and what we are doing is I'm bringing in talent that has never been in a Destiny ring. Last show we had Steve Macklin. We had Warhorse. We had Blake Christian. They'd never been in a Destiny ring up to that point. Casey Spinelli, she hadn't been in a Destiny ring for almost 3-4 years. Coming into this show, we have Angels coming in. We have the Motor City Machine Guns coming in. I would love to tell you what I have for March and May, but I'm not going to let it out of the bag right now. But again, it's more new talent. But I will tell you one thing for March, I have reached out to a top promotion in the United States, and I have their champion coming to defend his title on our show, March 12th at Don Kolov Arena.
We'll take that little teaser for sure.
Yes, we will. You mentioned being an old school fan, Emilio. You've been watching a long time. You're a big wrestling fan. So how much of a fanboy mark out moment was it for you, knowing this is mine now, this is my company, and then you walked out of that ramp that night, looked at Destroy right in the eye, and told them that they were facing the Motor City Machine Guns next month? Was that a cool moment for you, being in front of the fans like that?
That was a cool moment. That was the first chance that, people got to see, well, who's the new guy? And a lot of people still didn't know who I was. And right. I like that because the show isn't about me. It is about the talent. And I will pop in from time to time just to get my pop, from everyone to make an announcement when I can. But it truly is about the matches we put on the ring and trying to create those dream match scenarios, those stories where the fans can really sink their teeth in and enjoy what's happening. There's a lot of stuff coming up with Destiny in 2023 that has never happened in Destiny before. But, we just signed with IWTV. We're going to start a weekly show. I guess I can call him Santino Morello right now and not Anthony Perez on his Impact thing. He's one of our commentators, and Sam Laterna, based out of New York. She's the second one. So we have a great commentary team. We have a great host in Alicia. There's a lot of great people, not only in Destiny, but throughout the whole Ontario independent scene. From where you guys are up in Barrie with Barrie Wrestling to the guys out in Cornwall at Seaway Valley. You got Main Event Wrestling in Montreal. You got IWS in Montreal. You have, CWF in St. Catharines. And to me, people say, wow, you talk about all these other promotions, but they're your competition. And they're really not, because if we're all doing well and putting on great shows, then the fans are getting their money's worth, and the fans will keep on coming out to support. Not so much Destiny, but come out and support the fan, the talent, because they're the ones that are really out there busting their hump, trying to give themselves an opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's
I really do believe that I believe that Ontario really has this untapped market of talent out there. Who are some guys on our local scene that just really impress you that you just, get taken back when you watch them perform, whether they're on the Destiny roster or whether they're maybe going to debut in the Destiny roster at some point this year?
Well, one of the guys, and I'm telling you, hopefully by the time this goes live, the flyer's already out, or else you guys are getting a spoiler. But I've been traveling the indie scene for the last 2 months, going to watch every single show I can. And one guy that's really impressed me that's never been on a Destiny show before is Jax Williams.
Oh, yeah.
And he is going to make his Destiny debut January 29th in a 6-man scramble match. So he's really impressed me. The one guy that's completely impressed me and blown me away is Evan Greenaway. I believe he is absolutely fantastic. And that kid there, for being so brand new, I believe there's no glass ceiling for that kid. And I think he's going to go through the roof. I think he's on a rocket ship and he's just going to go up. So there's lots of guys I could tell you about, but there's just
Big fan of
so
those Kelsey's
many
chicken wings too. That Mike and I work. Mike,
I think we're losing Ty here, so I'll just take over for a minute. I love what you said about the fans there, Emilio. How all those other businesses aren't exactly your competition, because those fans, if they like something, they're going to travel around to see it. You've got fans that I saw at Homecoming, that about 4 or 5 guys that I see every month in Barrie, that I know for a fact have been to every Chinlock wrestling show in Kingston, that I know for a fact have been to every Seaway show, every IWS show. They go all over the place because they love professional wrestling. If you're putting, you don't need to compete on the Ontario indie scene these days. You really don't. All you have to do is put on the best show you possibly can, and you're going to get the people in. You prove that at Homecoming. Sean Gibson, our good friend, proves that every month in Barrie. And, and there's going to be your promotion here and there that, maybe phones it in, and they're not going to get the people all the time. So maybe they're the ones who say, I'm in competition. Well, that's because you're not filling your gym every week.
Yes.
And you're proving that right there. You don't need to compete. You just need to fill that Don Call every month.
Yeah, and listen, and I'm open for business. I can tell you in June, I can't give you the exact date yet, but on a Saturday in June, Destiny and Seaway Valley Wrestling co-promoting a show in Cornwall, Ontario.
Love it.
And we did it 4 years ago. I wasn't involved with the company then, but when you're dealing with great people that care about their fans as well, those are the people I want to work with, to be able to create something special, again, for the fans to see, where they'll get to see never before seen matchups and some dream matchups all come together as one.
Last thing I want to bring up before we really push this show home. One thing Tyler and I really noticed Don Call in January, we got to walk around before the doors open. We got to shake some hands. We were behind the scenes a little bit. And one of the things that we both took away was there was just something really special in the air. I knew it was because it was kind of a new era for Destiny, but there was also this camaraderie. There seemed to be a lot of guys really supporting each other, supporting yourself. We saw guys that we've known for years, like Shane Saber, really leading the charge and doing his things. And all the boys and all the girls were really, really supporting each other in a way that I don't see very often. I'm not saying I don't see it a lot. It was very different that night. What can you say about, especially your first show, Homecoming, what can you say about your locker room and your crew right now? Because, like, as a fan, I'm going to tell you, I think you got something real special.
Listen, the one thing I've realized with a lot of the talent and traveling to all the different shows is that they really care about each other, and they care. Yeah. They're not just there to, get their money, make a name for themselves, and then leave. They want to see the promotions thrive. They want to make sure the fans get the opportunity to see a great match, and they all care about each other. They want to make sure everyone's, succeeding, and whether, person A wins the match and person B doesn't, They work real hard. They're all trying to obtain and hit their goals. But yeah, just the team start to finish, from our agents to our camera crew to even the Battle Arts students that come in and help us with all the setup of the chairs and the video wall and the media wall and the skirts, the turnbuckles, like everything. Everyone works so well together because everybody wants to succeed together. This is not just a promotion gets ahead and the talent gets stiffed. This is not just the talent get ahead and the promotion gets stiffed. This is, we all work together and we all succeed together.
I'm hoping that the Wi-Fi for me is going to work together right now. I apologize, guys. But anyway, I'd love to know. I'd love to know about just some of your wrestling fandom. You said you're a big fan of the 80s product. Who are some guys that caught your eye right away and then just put this wrestling bug inside of you?
Believe it or not, one thing I used to get a kick out of a long time ago was the Killer Bees, when they would go out of the ring and put their masks on.
Yeah.
That was one of the things for me that I loved. I loved the vignettes when they would introduce new talent, which is something that you will see with Destiny. After this March show, you won't see any debuts for the company unless you've seen at least 3 different vignettes for that individual, because I want the fans to understand who the individual is. So before that person walks through the, to the ring and walks through the curtain, I want the fans to already have an idea if they're going to love them or hate them based on their vignettes.
Love that.
So it's not a quiet reaction.
Old school.
Yeah, so it's not a quiet reaction for the fan, that just sees them, and then for the talent coming through. Like, I remember Razor Ramon, and I was just like, man, I hate this guy, but I want to be this guy.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I got from those vignettes back in the olden days. And just,
100%.
You see Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon doing their little things, and that's what it was for me. It was, and the larger than life characters. It was incredible. I feel like a kid every time I talk about the 80s.
Yeah,
I miss.
Sorry, Mike. I was just gonna say that's something that I picked up on at the last show. You came over and you sat with us for a little bit. We were watching the Battle Royal together, and we both were just so captivated and watching. You watch your product, but you were still watching it like a fan. I thought that was really cool. I think that's like a really important quality to have, where you still have your fandom and you're still booking what we would want to see. And I think that's an important quality to have.
Very important.
Yeah, well, and the one thing I've made a promise to myself is that I'm never going to get in the ring. I was told to go in the ring to do that promo with the boys, and I wasn't doing it because the reason why I enjoy watching is because they do stuff that I cannot do, nor would I ever even try to do. So to see that and to watch them get their moment in front of the fans, for me, watching that is way more important, and it gives me a better feeling than actually, being in the ring and doing something like that.
So do you have something for this next show on the 29th that you're really excited about seeing? Like, Tarek and Angels is going to be good. The Machine Guns, like what's like the draw for you for this month that you as a fan are just like, this is going to kick ass?
I want to say the 6-man scramble with who we have in it. I think we have a great group of guys that are in that match. And I think they're gonna like, I believe the card, I know we're gonna go over it in a second, but top to bottom, I believe the card is phenomenal. We're crowning the first ever New Era champion after the debacle with the Next Gen title at the last show. So I'm excited for the fans to see the belt. I worked from pretty much almost day one to make this belt. It is 100% custom, and I think the fans are going to love it. It's a completely different design than what people are used to. So seeing someone, that's something that I created, and having someone be able to carry it and represent the brand, I think is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that should be a good match. I was really impressed with Ren Jones on the last show. And maybe for someone who's not too familiar with Ren and with Zach Patterson, tell the people what they can expect to see when those two get in the ring.
Well, when you got Ren, Ren is known as the swag meister. Like, he has that swag. And when he's in his gear and he's getting ready for the ring, even just his personality in everyday life, like him and I have had a few conversations this week. And He's just incredible. He has the look, he has the stamina, he has the persona, he has what it takes to be a star in this industry. And to me, I believe he is going to be one of the next indie guys signed to a contract. He's on SmackDown a lot recently. I don't know if people are watching, but he's playing a security role. He got pushed around by Ronda one episode. He helped get the hooded person out of the ring that one time.
Okay.
That when it was, if people look back, but Ren is a fantastic guy. He has the look. And then, you flip it over when you talk about looks, Zach Patterson. To me, he reminds me of a young John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the gym.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's very, very strong. He's now aligned himself with the one and only Clay Wilson. But Clay Wilson has informed me through his people that he is now going to be known in Destiny Wrestling as Clay Wilson Lafleur.
Oh, I hate it
He
so
wants
much.
everyone to know that he is from La Belle Province of Quebec.
Oh, Clay Wilson is one
Clay
of a kind.
Wilson.
I used to always say that Clay Wilson was always misunderstood, but after having him on our live show on New Year's Eve, there, I don't know, Clay. I think maybe you're not so misunderstood, and maybe the people are onto something here.
Oh,
Yes,
Clay Wilson.
and breaking away from the show and stuff aside, Clay, the first time I met Clay was at Summer Heat. And because nobody knew who I was at that time, and George was in Miami, like Clay actually bought a ticket for the show, and showed up. And to me, I was impressed just right there by the type of gentleman that he was, because he could have came up to me or got someone to come up to me, and I probably would have said, "Yeah, you know what? Come on in. I appreciate what you do in the ring, and I've seen you help before." So, but he purchased a ticket to come to the show. It showed me a lot. He was always there to help, and for me, that's a big thing. You know what I mean? Paying your dues. From everything that I've heard, and when I see people do that, it means the world to me, because it means they really want to be a part of something. Not only do they want to get a chance, but they want to be a part of something, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to become a part of something.
Yeah, I'll put Clay over as well. When we started with Barry about a year and a half ago, Clay was the first person that came up to us. We were like lost puppies walking in. We'd never done anything like this before, and he made us feel very welcome. I do the ring announcing up in Barry. He's always checking in to make sure that I'm looking the part. So, all right, Clay, we'll put you over a little bit, but that's it. That's it for this week, Clay. No more.
I will not be putting Clay over this week. Clay is mean. Clay makes me cry.
Yeah, character-wise, I would love to punch Clay in the face when he's in the ring, but pre-show outside the ring is not so bad.
You mentioned talking about Zach Patterson and about Ren Jones there, and saying that these could be guys that you could see being signed in the future. Somebody who I think is really on the cusp of being signed is the Bionic Woman, Alexia Nicole. She's going to be in action on the 29th. I don't know if anybody on the Ontario scene had a bigger year than Alexia Nicole last year. She's really setting the world on fire. I talked to her last month up in Barrie, and I told her, I'm really going to miss you when you're gone, Alexia, because it's only a matter of time. How impressed are you with everything that she does in the ring?
I've always been impressed with what she's done, and that's the thing. From just watching her, watching her match against Fuerza in Ottawa, and their hardcore match or street fight match, however it went down. I was quite impressed with that, and she works really hard. Like she went out and got herself intro music. Like she got her gear updated. She works really, really, really hard. And when you see people work that hard, you want to give them even more opportunity. Like you wish you could give them even more than what you're giving them, because you see how passionate they are. You see how hard she's willing to work. She's sitting there. She talks to people like whether she's asking for advice or giving advice to the new guys that see her, she's always willing. And to me, that just shows the type of person that she is. So why wouldn't you want to push someone and try to get them to the next level? Because if you can get individuals like that to the next level is going to be even better place than what it is today.
Absolutely.
You know?
I also want to talk to you about Legends Row here. We've got referee Harry D going into Legends Row. Tell me a little bit about Legends Row and if this is something that we can expect to see maybe more in the future of, and just the importance of Harry D to Destiny.
Well, Legends Row, the one thing I dislike about the WWE, for example, and all these other promotions is they have their Hall of Fame, but there's no physical Hall of Fame to be able to see anything. It's a one-night event. At some of the live shows, they'll bring some of the, the old clothing out or ring gear or whatever it might be, and you get to see it once in a while. So for me, there's no real Hall of Fame. So what is a Hall of Fame? A Hall of Fame is an imaginary product. Unless Disney buys the Fed, we're never going to see a real Hall of Fame. So for me, Legends Row, it's going to be one of the front rows at the Don Kolov Arena, where it's going to have a specialty chair. And Harry D is going to get not only a plaque in recognition of his 30 years in professional wrestling, but he's also going to get a nameplate on one of those chairs that he can either use himself for any given show, anywhere that Destiny goes across Ontario or Canada, or he can offer that chair up to a friend, but it will be there at every single show on display, and it will have his name on it, class of 2023. And, it's just a way to give someone recognition that has done so much for a lot of the indie talent. And as talented as the guys in the ring are, without the referees, there is no match. 100%. There is no flow. So these guys are very, very important, and there's no one better to get this started than Harry D. So January 29th, he will be elected into Legends Row. I'm excited he's bringing his family and everything like that. And there's a lot of fans I know that want to be able to give Harry D a big thank you for everything that he's done, not only in Destiny, but he has called some of the biggest matches in Ontario independent wrestling, even across Canada and as well on Impact. So he has the accolades, of being everywhere. He's done the top matches. He's helped new up and coming refs. Like we're bringing in Emily from Nova Scotia for this show, and she's so excited to be here for this. So it just goes to show, how far Harry's reach has gone.
Absolutely. Something that I really like that you're doing with the booking here is the way that you kind of layer the talent. And what I mean by that is, you'll bring in kind of like a big draw, like the Machine Guns, and then, some of the best talent that Ontario has to see so they can get that exposure. But you also bring in some really like hot up and comers that have a name behind them too. We saw Christian Blake last month. This month we have Alan. Oh, sorry, Blake. I do that every time. We have Alan Angels. Alan Angels coming in this month. I think this is a great person to bring in. He's coming off this red hot angle in Impact Wrestling, fresh off a big AEW run, and just like a hungry young talent that's ready to prove himself. And I think him and Tarek, they could be the dark horse to steal the show if they given the right time there.
100%. And I want to knock on wood. I'm getting really lucky when booking talent. Like Angels was actually booked well before his run on Impact started. So, we had the deal in place, and next thing you know, 2 weeks later, he's starting a major storyline with Violent by Design, which is now, their new group with name's going to slip my mind here for a second.
Cody Deaner.
Yeah, Cody Deaner running the group now. So it's like, we struck gold with it. He's coming in hot. Tarek is going to have his hands full, but at the same time, Angels is going to have his hands full with Tarek, because when we talk about untapped talent and people that should be signed, Tarek is that guy. He's the most experienced, I believe, in Ontario right now. That's still out there just killing it. He has the look. He has the physique. He's fantastic in the ring. I'm excited to see what 2023 is going to bring for Tarek, 2023 and beyond, not only in Destiny, but for his own career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since we're talking about up-and-coming talent, I'm going to ask you a question. If feel free to tell me to F off, and we'll edit this right out. But I have to ask, am I allowed to ask what happened with Jordan Oliver?
No.
That's fine. That's
I'll
what editing
say-
is for.
I'll say one word: politics.
All right.
But yeah, we are going to rebook him on a show.
Great.
It's just unfortunate. It was so close with GCW. I don't believe I'll be able to get him out here for March 12th. So I do want him. I think he's a great talent. Maybe I bring him out here with Nick Wayne next time. We throw them in a tag match. Listen, when you're booking, sometimes things happen. People can't do certain things. And I understand. Sometimes it could be a double booking. Sometimes it could be the flights aren't working because they're working a show the previous night and they would just get in way too late that you don't want to risk them missing their flight or something like that, or a flight being delayed. So there's lots of little things that go into this. I'm just glad that the little things happened early on, that we were able to, announce the new match with Macklin versus Aiden. And that we had the talent there already for the card, so that the show can go on. The card's always subject to change. I don't like change because I'm planning 6 months out for everything, but I do know because I'm planning 6 months out, there is going to be change, and I just have to be able to adjust very, very quickly.
Yeah, that kind of segues into something I'm curious about. I've always admired the booker and the promoter, and I think there's a lot of hard work that goes into the product that you put out that we don't know about. What's been some of the biggest challenges for you personally, that taking over Destiny and coming into this role?
Listen, every show, just like any business, there's a budget, right? A budget from what you can do physically and money-wise, financially. So when putting together a show, you have to work within certain things. And because, in Canada, we all know we could get totally screwed when it comes to flights, whether it be flying out or in. And the US, unfortunately, some of their hubs don't come into Canada that easy. Like Charlotte, which you would figure would have a nice, easy way to fly in. No, they usually have to go back to Atlanta before they fly up. So finding talent that lives in areas like Orlando, Ohio is very easy for flights. Finding people that live in the border towns, very easy as well for a drive or a flight. And just sometimes, just the talent and their schedule. They might be free on a weekend. You don't have your show, and for your show, they already got booked 3 months ago because they're hot.
Yeah.
So it's really a gamble because you're taking a chance that the people are still going to be interested in that talent at the time of the show. And like I said, I've been lucky. Blake Christian, was a great ad for one of our shows, bringing in Steve Macklin for the last show and having him this show. Great ad. For the company, and hopefully he's going to be around for more shows because I think he's absolutely tremendous. Getting Warhorse, getting Angels, bringing in this unnamed champion of an independent promotion in the US that is going to be defending his title in March, is something big. So we have there's a lot of good things, and it does take a lot of work. I go to bed at nighttime. Before I go to bed, I watch about an hour and a half of video of people that I want to check out. Lots of people send me matches, but I already know they're sending me their best matches. So I want to search and I want to find previous matches and other matches that aren't their best to see if they're going to fit into what Destiny is.
So a question I'd like to ask you then, because we talked about fandom and we're all fans at heart. If you could just, throw a budget out the window, it doesn't matter about anything. What's a dream match that you wish that you could book with anybody currently going, just like, your dream match that you could book?
Well, I'll be honest with you guys here. If I tell you that, I might be giving away my Summer Heat main event.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have to bring you back on after you announce that, and we can revisit that question again then.
I can
Folks,
tell you my staple show will be Sunday, August 20th, Summer Heat. And if I'm able to make one of my dream matches come true, it's going to be on that show. And I can tell you, I'm in negotiations right now with both the talent.
I love that. And I also love the fact that that's a week before my girlfriend's birthday. So I'll have no heat going to that show, which makes me very happy.
But, you know, if I were to throw a middle of the road dream match out there, oh man, I got to tell you, they're both local to Toronto, and I think it would be one of the funniest things in the world. But Santino Marella and Aaron Stevens, who's currently in Toronto right now, to me, that would be one of those matches because for me, they really made wrestling fun. When Aaron Stevens was doing the Damian Sandow with The Miz, when he was the stunt double, and anything that Santino did was gold. There's, you know, you can go on YouTube and watch some of his stuff and you'll just start laughing hysterically. So that would be a fun one for me. Obviously a huge fan of The Rock. I don't know if it's in the budget to be able to bring him in for a match.
Maybe between movies. I'm glad you mentioned Santino though, because it kind of segues into the second part of the show here, and then we'll give the hard sell for Destiny again at the end of the show. But Royal Rumble season is upon us. Santino Marella has one of the most entertaining and iconic Royal Rumble moments of all time. What are some of your favorite Royal Rumble moments, memories? You know, it's one of the best matches going, right?
I think it's the surprises when the dirt sheets weren't giving everything away. Mm-hmm. So for me, Royal Rumble season, I try to stay away from any of the sites that might give away some of the spoilers.
Me too.
You know, just tonight, you know, I'm glad the Fed did it. And sorry, when I say the Fed, I mean WWE. They announced that Cody Rhodes is going to be in the Rumble. They promoted his Nightmare Factory and promoted that he was going to be in it. And the reason why I'm excited that they did it is because everyone already knew it.
Yeah.
Plus, they're giving him that Triple H treatment. That when Triple H was injured and he came back, you know, doing those vignettes again, and they didn't just surprise everybody with them. They knew he was going to come back, so they did those. They did the build. They're doing the same thing with Cody, and I'm loving that because they don't do that anymore. No, everyone's about the surprise. I like this. I like it a lot.
And the fact I
do like the build.
Yeah, well, and the fact that they announced Cody as well, it's not going to have the fans distracted from the Rumble match. When's Cody coming? We want Cody. We want Cody. You know, we know he's coming, so we'll chill, and then we're going to lose our mind when he comes out. And I like that as well.
Yeah, exactly. But the surprises have always been great. Like when we think back a few years when Edge made his return.
Yeah, one of the best Royal Rumble moments, one of the best wrestling moments of all time.
Yeah, it was absolutely hysterical. You know, but then you think of some of the crazy stuff that you've seen. Kofi Kingston with some of his saves that he's made. I know he messed up, I believe, 2 Rumbles ago.
Yeah.
But the majority of the stuff that he's done has been great. You know, and that gives you something that you want to see. What's Kofi gonna do this time?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Which former talent's gonna come back for, you know, their 5 minutes in the match just to, you know, get the fans to pop and give them that, you know, that wow feeling, you know, the goosebump feeling when they're coming down to the ring. Because as a fan, that's what we like. Like, we love the action in the ring. We want to see someone who's always on the show in there and doing well. But we like to see those 3, 4, 5 surprises that, you know, get us to even pop sitting on our couches when they come out.
100%. Christian a couple years ago, that was a good one too. That one got me pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, so what we're doing on the show this week is we're counting down the top 7 Royal Rumble match performers of all time. So, you know, when you think of the Royal Rumble, who, you know, we'll get to the list in a minute, but I'd like to know your opinion, Emilio. Who do you think is Mr. Royal Rumble?
Kane.
Kane?
Oh,
that's fair.
I think I'm going to get some heat from Emilio on my list this week.
I mean,
what do you think? You guys do you want to jump in and we'll bang out this list pretty quick here?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's go ahead, Mike.
I just want to put forward 100%. I know we're going to say at the end of the show, but don't forget, it is January 29th at the Don Call of Arena. Okay. That is new beginnings. Tickets there's still a couple left, right, Emilio? One
Yeah,
or two?
we're down. We have a few second row left,
Yeah.
and in the general admission.
Get on those. They're not going to last long. By the time this show airs, you have less than 2 weeks to get those tickets. Get them. I swear to God, we were at homecoming. If this show's half as good as that one, you're not going to want to miss it. We'll talk about it again at the end, but do not miss this show, January 29th in Mississauga. All right, Tyler, take it away to the Royal Rumble, baby.
All right, here we go. Number 7 for my greatest Royal Rumble performers of all time. I had a hard spot. I narrowed this down between 2, but I went with Charlotte Flair, actually. And I go with Charlotte here. Now, let me read off some stats because, people are like, oh, Charlotte, what? She's won the 2020 Royal Rumble. She has the most total eliminations out of any woman in Royal Rumble history with 15. The longest amount of total time spent in a Royal Rumble for the women with 2 hours and 21 minutes. And she's been the runner-up in 2 other Royal Rumble matches. Not Final Four, the runner-up. I really went back and forth. I thought Bianca Belair had a shot here. I also really liked Hulk Hogan in this number 7 spot as well. But for me, Charlotte with the win and just the limited Rumble matches that she's been in and the impressive statistics that go with that, I think Charlotte is a safe choice for my number 7 here.
I was going to say I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to reserve judgment until I see who didn't make your list. You just spoiled that Hulk Hogan didn't make your list. So that's all right. I'm still going to reserve judgment a little bit. I'm going to let you go on until I say that you're wrong. But at least we can say one thing about your number 7. At least this time, it's not unfair to Flair.
That's right. It's not unfair to Flair. Amelia, what do you think? I saw maybe a little bit of reservation in your face when I said Charlotte. Did I catch you off guard with that one a little bit?
As long as she's not the only woman on your list.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think I might get a little more heat from Emilio on this list too. But this is what the whole fun of it's all about. This is what we do as fans. We love it. Number 6 moment, number 6 Royal Rumble performer, in my opinion, is a man that we just talked about a second ago. I went with Edge in the number 6 spot.
Yeah, it's a good spot for Edge.
Yeah, that's a good spot. For me, it's I think the pop that he got when he made the return, that number 6 is deserved. I want to see the rest of the list, but I'm okay with number 6.
Yeah, so with
Edge, you got some stats for Edge there?
Yeah, with Edge. Well, he did the surprise return at 2 Rumbles also, because he did it in 2010 when he won. He also got a big pop there. He also won the 2021 Royal Rumble, running the distance, going from number 1 all the way to the end. He's been in the final 4 of 4 other Royal Rumbles. He's got 23 total eliminations, which puts him on the 10th of all time. He's been in the Royal Rumble for a total amount of 3 hours and 31 minutes, which puts him 6 all time. And in my opinion, we talked about it, one of the greatest Royal Rumble moments of all time when he made his return. That look on his face when he first came out of the smoke, that like, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening again. I think it's one of the most powerful things I've ever seen in professional wrestling.
I believe number 6 is way too low.
Yeah, eh?
Top 2 for sure. Top 2, top 3.
Let's see, because I got some more stats to bang out here. And my number 5 gives Edge a run for his money on him. And it's all about the game. We're talking about Triple H.
Triple H is your number 5?
He's my number 5 spot. Now, with my number 5 and my number 4, you could really kind of flip a coin with them because their stats are so similar. But my number 4, I went with for a different reason. So with Triple H, he was the winner of the 2002 and 2016 Royal Rumble. 32 total eliminations, which ties him for 6 of all time. 4 hours total time in the Royal Rumble, which puts him 4th of all time. And he has 3 Final Four appearances while he won the World Heavyweight Championship in the 2016 Royal Rumble. I know, Mike, you sound a little bit fired up here, but Emilio, I want your take on Triple H here.
See, it's funny. I don't even think I have Triple H in my top 7.
Yeah, he wasn't in my list originally. And then the more I dug into the stats, the more I got impressed by by the numbers that I saw. I'm a big with this list. I went with a lot of numbers on it. A lot of stats impressed me.
Yeah, I can see that you're going based on numbers, so that's fine. Based on numbers, yeah, Triple H can be up there, but for me, he doesn't even make the top 7.
Mike, are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm fine because, and I'll tell you why. Because I didn't base my list on numbers. I based my list on just being a goddamn mark. And I am a fucking mark for Triple H, baby. Yeah, he was my number 4.
I'm with Emilio though, because
Yeah.
if I wasn't basing this on numbers, Triple H wouldn't be on my list either.
He doesn't have many memorable moments in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but his performances are strong, and he ran the gauntlet a couple times there, a couple long performances he did, but he doesn't have that, oh shit moment that my number 4 has. And my number 4, I'm going with Triple H's good friend, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn
Are
Michaels.
you fucking with me right now? After everything we talked about last week, 1 week ago, we sat here and listed all of the great moments that Shawn Michaels has had in the fucking Royal Rumble, and you're sitting there telling me he's number 4?
Number 4.
I'm about to teach Emilio what the C word is here on this show.
Listen, I'm going by stats, big time stats. The moments have a big impact as well. Of course, we can't forget 1 foot in 1995, but that Royal Rumble was really shit. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Shawn Michaels was fantastic in it, and that's one of the greatest finishes in Royal Rumble history. But that Rumble was, well done. We listed the people last week.
But we're talking about performances.
Well, let's talk about his performances. He won the 1995 and 1996 Royal Rumble, 39 total eliminations, which puts him 3rd of all time. Total time in the Rumble, 3 hours, 47 minutes. 3 Final Four appearances. And of course, we have to talk about his amazing sell job in the 2010 Rumble when he got eliminated and lost his chance to fight The Undertaker again. Fantastic stuff. Emilio, is Shawn on your list? Where do you put him if he is?
He'd probably sneak in at number 7.
Number 7, eh?
And it's simply for that moment where he sold the not getting the chance to fight The Undertaker.
Yeah, and come on, 1 foot in 95 is pretty awesome. But I like that more for Vince than Shawn, I think. 1 foot, 1 foot. All right. Mike is going to not like my number 3 and my number 2.
Just to put context on this, Shawn was my number 2.
Shawn was your number 2?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there. My number 3, you need to acknowledge the head of the table, brother.
Absolutely not. Doesn't even make the list.
Didn't make my list either, man. Didn't make my list.
No.
See, to me, Roman
you have to
is
sell
so
this, brother.
impressive.
No, you need to sell this. I love me some Roman Reigns. But you need to fucking sell this if we're talking about the Royal Rumble.
Now, if I have my stats correct, Roman Reigns has only been in 5 Royal Rumble matches. He is the winner of the 2015 Royal Rumble. He is a 4-time runner-up, not even Final Four, runner-up in Royal Rumbles. He's eliminated 32 people, which is 6th of all time, with only being in that many Royal Rumble matches. And he holds he did hold the record with eliminating 12 people in a single Royal Rumble match. For the limited amount of time that he has been in the Royal Rumble matches, I don't think there's many more people that have been more dominant than Roman Reigns in Royal Rumble matches.
And if you didn't read that all off to me, I wouldn't have remembered any of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. That's why the stats are here, though. I think the stats, maybe 3 could be high. I could switch him and Shawn maybe, but I mean, the guy's impressive in the Rumble, man. He's impressive in the Rumble. He dominates every time he goes in there.
Switch him and Bushwhacker Luke.
Bushwhacker. Oh, this is memorable. All right, well, let's see if I can win you back with my number 2 then. My number 2.
I have no clue who you're like. Our number 1s have to sync up. They have to.
I think so, right?
Fuck. But I have no idea who your number 2 could be.
I'm going with the Beast Brock Lesnar for number 2.
You don't even have Kane on your list.
I don't have Kane on my list. I don't. Outside of that one Royal Rumble match, he didn't do anything else that I remember, but he's never won the Rumble. Like, that's big for my list. You got to at least be a winner to make my list.
No, sorry. Can't do it.
I mean,
Where would you put Kane? I'm
Moments,
curious.
moments have to come into to consideration for you. I don't feel like they are. Like the Drew Carey moment alone puts him on this, puts him at the number 7 spot, and then you have the fact that the Kane is, held the record for so long of having the most eliminations, and and how many wasn't he in like 15 Royal Rumbles?
16, I think, total.
Yeah.
I think he.
The
I
most
think he's the most.
authentic eliminations. They were shoving Roman down our throat with those eliminations.
That
Kane's
is fair.
eliminations were all authentic eliminations, and he was in one of the greatest ones with Santino. So
Also fair.
the moments that Kane gave the Rumble should put him at number 1, but it's your list, not
Oh,
mine.
you put him right at number 1, eh?
Right at number 1. When I think Royal
Wow.
Rumble, I think
Hey,
Kane.
you asked
That's
Emilio
fair.
who was Mr. Royal Rumble, and he said Kane.
That's
So that
fair.
doesn't surprise me.
You do think about Kane with the Royal Rumble a lot. And with my list, I go a little bit more stat heavy. I like the numbers. I'm a numbers guy, and that's what impresses me. The moments are there too, but you can't discredit Brock Lesnar here. This guy
I'm
has
not going to
all-
discredit Brock, but
if you
Number
hear his
2?
Royal Rumble stats, okay, he is the winner of the 2003 and 2022 Royal Rumble. He has the most eliminations in a single Rumble with 13. He has 29 total eliminations, tied for 7th of all time, and he's only been in 4 Royal Rumble matches. That's impressive, man.
But we only remember him for 2. The one where he threw the 13 straight people out, and the one that he came into the ring and eliminated Goldberg.
Yeah, I remember him for the surprise last year. I thought was pretty good. He came out after losing the world title and won the Rumble. I really liked his Rumble performance in I think it was 03. I really liked that whole Royal Rumble pay-per-view, though. That could just be the fan in me fanning over that one a little bit. But I mean, he eliminated The Undertaker and Kane in the number 2 and 3 spots in that Rumble. He eliminated Kane.
I see. So it's impressive to eliminate Kane. It's
Yeah.
just not impressive to
It's,
beat
it's
Kane.
just not impressive
Okay,
when Kane
I-
eliminates people.
okay,
Yeah, that's
all
right.
right.
This is a biased list.
That's
Biased.
it. It's a biased list. I think the door is going to be locked for me and only me for Destiny Wrestling on the 29th.
Have a seat
All right.
for your back.
Yeah.
All right, break the glass. Tell us your number 1, because
Number 1
if
is
you're not talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, you're fucking wrong.
it's got to be Stone Cold Steve Austin, the only 3-time winner in Royal Rumble history. 36 total elimination, puts him 4th all time. 2 hours, 45 minutes total time in the Rumble, 12th all time. His amazing performance in 1997, out of this world.
One
The
of the
thing with
greatest
Austin,
moments in the history of the Royal Rumble, where you're sitting on the ropes and the Hitman's music hits, when those hands go up there. How many years did they replay that? For years,
still
and
do.
years and years,
yeah,
And that was over 25 years ago.
I have a more important question.
okay.
How did Randy Orton not make this list?
Thank you.
I looked at Randy's numbers.
Randy was my number 3.
He's a
yeah.
two-time winner, and his moments were pretty good. My favorite Randy Orton moment in the Royal Rumble was him and Mick Foley when Foley did the run out in 03, I think it was. I just think that these guys had better performances than Randy Orton. I could bump Charlotte off maybe and put Orton in that spot. He was in the fighting for number 7. Kofi was in there, Hogan, Randy, they were all in this fighting for number 7. Chris Jericho was in the fighting for number 7. That's the hardest spot to do, but I'm standing by my list. I'm standing with the numbers now. If we're doing greatest, just
But
like
that's
holy,
not what your list is called. Your list is not Royal Rumble by the numbers.
it's Royal Rumble performers. These are their performances they put
But,
in.
but you're not.
Steve Austin's only been in 6 Rumbles. He's got 3 wins, 2 Final Fours, and he was
You're
supposed to
ranking
have a
the
3rd Final
performance-
Four, but he slipped and fell in 96.
But you're ranking the performance by the book. You're not ranking the performance from the fan standpoint. From the fans. That's how I'd be making this list. I'd be ranking it. The performance isn't what they were told to go out and do. The performance is what they go out and fucking do.
So
Yes.
who on my list didn't have a good performance, though? Everyone on my list put in a good performance.
Charlotte doesn't make the list if you're going to use performances. Look at Kofi.
I'll
Kofi
give you Charlotte.
after moment after moment after moment after moment after moment in the Royal Rumble match.
I'll concede to that one. I'll give you that one. I could slide Charlotte off the list. I will give you that one then.
our list would be completely different, but it's your
Very.
list.
Yeah,
That's
that's it.
That's what the beauty of professional wrestling is, we can all have our different takes on it, but we can
I-
have the fun
Unless
conversations like
unless
this
it's
about
my
it.
take. Unless
Yeah,
it's my
your
take, and then
takes-
and then I'm told I have no credibility.
Yeah, your takes are usually shit. Everyone else, though, it's fun to hear what everyone else has to say. But that's what I love about it. Emilio's got a totally different list. Mike's list was different. But I just think Steve Austin was hands down the number one. And everybody, with the exception of Charlotte, then had an holy shit Royal Rumble moment on their resume when they did it.
So Emilio, you didn't really weigh in on Stone Cold here. Obviously, you said Kane would be your number one. Would Stone Cold even be your number two, or where are you putting Stone Cold here?
Stone Cold would be further down the list, maybe 5 or 6, simply because if you watch the show and the way everything was going, you knew Stone Cold was winning the Rumbles.
Yeah.
The way they were
Maybe not 97, but 98, 90, and what was it, 98 and 2000?
01.
Yeah, for sure.
01.
Thank you.
Like, you just knew he was winning, and the way that they were going. So there's so many different things, but like I said, for me, I look at moments. To me, Santino might even make the top 7 because the timing of getting in the ring to get knocked out right away.
His sell. I wasn't ready. I love that. But his other big moment too is when everyone thought he was gonna put Del Rio out and the place lost their fucking mind.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there watching that live and actually believing Santino could do this. This could happen, and Santino made you believe that moment. Not Vince McMahon, not Bruce Pritchard, nobody with the pen. They didn't make me believe that moment. Santino Marella made me believe that he could throw out Del Rio and go to fucking WrestleMania. And this is what I'm talking about, performances, not the numbers, the true performances by the performer. That's what I'm talking about. Something like Santino Marella.
And if you show up to Destiny Wrestling on January the 29th, you can ask Santino Marella all about that moment. And you can ask him all about how great the Motor City Machine Guns are going to be, and hanging out with Alicia Atout and Alan Angels and Steve Macklin and everybody, man. This is a loaded card, January 29th. Emilio, this has been a blast, man. I'll tell you what, open invitation for the next time that we come on to talk about a future Destiny show. You bring a list with us, man. We'll talk about what you want to talk about.
I like it.
And you want to know the best thing about the 29th is that there's still a couple surprises that no one knows.
Well, we only talked about 5 matches tonight. We talked about the 4 matches that were announced. You brought up that the 6-way scramble. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that we did not talk about.
We know Alexia Nicole's going to be there, but what's she going to be doing?
What is she going to do?
And she's pissed off. She was laying hands on the referees. I hope that you had to have a stern conversation with her. You can't be laying hands on the officials.
I tried to have a talk with her, but she just told me she'll say what's on her mind on the 29th.
I mean, that is the bionic woman.
You're probably smart to just give her that microphone.
Yeah, that's it.
She's getting the mic, and she told me she's not happy right now with the security that came out and put their hands on her.
Well, I cannot wait to see what happens. January 29th, Motor City Machine Guns against Destroy. That is going to be the match to beat of the year. I'm putting it out there. I'm going on record.
I got to ask you, Tyler. This past Friday was Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a markout moment for you was it when the Impact, when Motor City Machine Guns retained their Impact Championships? Because I know you wanted to see them as champions at Destiny.
I'm hoping that the real markout moment comes on the 29th at Destiny if I can get my picture holding that Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championship. I am ecstatic for it. That's my goal for you and I, Mike. I would love for you and I to get our pictures holding the belts with the machine guns. I hope we can make it happen. I think we might know a guy that can help putting this in the right direction.
I'll go get my picture with Destroy instead. That way we're on both sides.
Yeah, just thinking about the card for the 29th, top to bottom. Macklin against Prince, like that's.
My chest hurts thinking about that.
Yeah,
and then
awesome.
Tarek, we didn't even really talk about Tarek. you and I, Tyler, we were late to the Tarek party, weren't we? You and I didn't really know Tarek until this time last year
Yeah, a
when
little
we
bit.
saw him go up against our very good friend, young Jay Lee. And I thought he was going to cave Jay Lee's chest in with all those chops. For him going up against Angels in less than 2 weeks from today, that's ridiculous. I hurt thinking about this match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tarek is if you look back at the last match at Homecoming against Kevin Blanchard,
That's right.
that was a hard smash mouth match.
Yes.
That was two guys that went in there and they laid it all on the line.
I'll tell you how hard those guys were hitting. At the beginning of that match, we were wrapping up interviewing Alicia Toot, which you can catch on the Count Out 7 YouTube page right now. And all you can hear getting picked up in the background is smacks and chops. And these guys they're not coming to mess around. Emilio, we appreciate everything that you've done with us, with inviting us into the Destiny family. We're happy to be on board. Stick around, everybody, to the Count It Out YouTube page. We're going to be working hard at the Destiny show, trying to bring you guys some great interviews. Last words, Emilio, before we take this thing home. Anything that you want to plug social media wise, or just tell the fans out there?
Yeah, listen, speaking of social media, after the 29th show, we are going to have a lot of polls up on our social medias. Polls for dream matches, polls for who you'd like to see come into Destiny, whether it be someone that's on TV, a top independent talent, or a local wrestler. Not that I'm going to be able to make it all happen, but I will do what I can because I do want to give the fans what they want, as long as it fits into the program of what it is Destiny's doing. Everyone knows. If they don't, I'll let you know now. Anyone that's in WWE under contract right now, I will not be able to get into a Destiny ring. But, you have AEW, you have MLW, you have GCW, you have Impact, you have Warrior Wrestling, you have Pro Wrestling Revolver, which Steve Macklin is the actual champion of, and he put his title on the line at the last show after just winning it the night before. There's just so many talented individuals out there, and I'm looking for the dream matches myself that are going to give me the oohs and the ahs. That's what I want, and that's what I want to be able to give the fans. So you're going to see lots of polls coming out in the new year. You're going to see that we are hitting the road for some shows throughout Ontario. And it's just going to be really, really good. I spoke about IWTV. We're going to have a weekly show going up there starting in February. And, it's just, we're going to put on such a great show, production value. I'm always going to be looking to improve it every single show to really, really give people a look at what Destiny really is.
Awesome. And one of those polls that we'll put up is which podcast covers Destiny Wrestling better, Count It Out or Straight Talk Wrestling? Suck it, George McKay. We're coming for you, George McKay. But Emilio, honestly, man, you're doing great things, man. We love the energy you're putting out there, and we can't wait to see you on the 29th, my man. Mike, you want to go ahead and take us home?
You've said it all, man. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here, Emilio. We hope to have you as a regular part of the show every month. Anytime you want to come on, and whether it's to promote Destiny or just to talk about wrestling, you have an open invitation on this show, my friend. It was a pleasure to have you. January 29th. I don't care where you live. I don't care if you're here in Toronto. I don't care if you're in Ottawa. I don't care if you're in Greenland. I don't care if you're in fucking Japan. Get on a plane, get to Mississauga on the 29th. You don't want to miss this show. And with that said, I promise you, you have been counted out.
Cheers.